What's it been like for you? Because we haven't talked to you since May. What's this all been like for you? What's the first couple of days of practice been like? Is it what you thought it would be? Has there been things you've learned?
Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. You know, the thing about, NFL, they always want to protect you and always want to make sure that you're, healthy at every practice and always making sure that you're, always at as close to 100% as you can. And, with college, we have to get so much done every single day. And so we're doing everything from morning to all the way at nighttime. So, with NFL, it's a little bit the same thing, but it's still more of like pertain to protect you, and so you can be as 100% as you can, for the games on Sunday.
Has it been maybe somewhat smoother than you thought it might be?
For me, as I'm starting to get more comfortable with the plays and what I need to do, then for me it is starting to get more smoother, and I'm starting to get the speed down of the game and all the speed of the guys. But I mean, that's like for every level. In college I had to get used to the speed, so now that I'm in the NFL now, it's been a pretty smooth transition. Starting to get used to everything, so I can go out there and play, with my God-given ability.
You said everybody was talking. Rookies allowed to talk some smack in the locker room.
Oh, we be talking all the time in the locker room. We have our little locker room over there, and we always just like it's like all good. Smack talk. We're always understanding we're always playing for each other, but at the same time, we always got to like get that edge out and understand that like we're trying to dominate each other at the same time, but always protect each other and always support each other at the same time.
I know you're a rookie, so you're trying to go ahead, do that.
Oh, okay. They have you doing a whole lot. How does the learning process go, and how much work do you have to put in to make sure you are on top of the things they're trying to teach you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm doing a lot for the offense, but I think that it's a good transition, and they're helping me out a lot. We have a lot of meetings. Me, Coach Petrie, Coach Rags. We're always doing some sort of studying because I understand that learning a lot of different things for the offense. It can be taxing in the mind for your mindset, but for me, I just take it every day, take it one day at a time, and understand that God put me here to do this kind of thing, and I gotta understand that I'm playing for Him, and at the end of the day, everything will take care of itself.
You were just talking about that a little bit. Sometimes the information can be overwhelming as a rookie, and you're trying to soak up as much as you can. But what's one of the biggest things you feel like you've learned so far?
I think the biggest thing is definitely like patience. Just staying patient and understanding that you gotta let things come to you, and you can't just like expect everything to be super good right away. And then I think that just taking things very slowly at a slow pace, and not just trying to rush into things, and like for me to really understand it, because I'm still a rookie at the same time, so I'm trying to like do as much as I can on the field, but then even off the field, understanding that I got meetings and things I got to do to keep my mind locked in, but still like trying to give myself some time for myself. But I think that's the biggest thing, is just like I can't get too stuck into it, because that can drive me crazy. But understanding that like there's so much more to learn and about this league, and how to like take care of myself to maximize myself for the team.
How would you describe these fans? They were crazy on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. Like, that was awesome. Somebody told me that they haven't seen that since like the Michael Vick days, which is really, that's pretty cool. Like, just like seeing that support out here every day. Like, I mean, I can't thank them enough, because we come out here to practice, and if it wasn't for the fans, like there wouldn't be a game, and we would just kind of be playing like backyard football. So like having them out here, it's like you're actually kind of in a game setting, and shoot, I love it. Like, and the energy, like when something good happens, I'm always like hearing them, and I'm always like it gets me riled up, gets me fired up. So I love it.
As a running back, how do you view yourself?
I'm a running back, man. I mean, obviously, like I do a lot of different things that maybe a lot of running backs probably are starting to do. But I mean, for me, I just want to. I'm a player that loves to give an opportunity to my offense, whether it's me lining up, out wide, or me lining up in the slot, or just trying to give another opportunity to maximize ourselves. But I think that just learning so many things, especially now. I think it can help you as a running back, and it can help you as an all-around player, and not just one-dimensional, but you can do so many different things to create so many opportunities for yourself.
Would you like to send, though, a kind of a message? I mean, you are a guy who can go out here and show that value. Running backs still have value, and deserve to get paid, and are a valuable part of an offense.
Yeah,
a lot
I mean,
of people don't. That sort of view has faded the last few years.
Yeah, you know, I guess like if you can do as much as you can for yourself, and if you can, you know, I would say just start, you know, catching footballs, running routes, like, you know, maximizing yourself as a player, and then wherever you can go with that's all I can say. But you know, if you can be you do a lot of things, do a lot of different things for your team, then you can, you know, maximize yourself to the best of your ability.
You've dreamt about this moment since you probably can remember. You went through the scenarios in your head of what it would be like. Has there been something where the reality of whatever you've gone through, whether it's meetings, preparation, terminology, is different from what you had envisioned coming in?
Not really. You know, a lot of things in college are the same from the NFL. I mean, you have your meetings every day, you know, morning and afternoon, and then you got practice. Like it's all the same scheduling. And you know, for me at Texas, we would do it like we're an NFL team. So you know, Coach Sark came from the NFL, and he knew, you know, that kind of schedule, and he was always like preparing. He was always one step ahead because he knew, you know, as soon as the players that were leaving are going to the next level, then we would be used to, you know, the whole schedule that is going on now. And for me, like, now I'm seeing it, and now I know that, you know, what he was preparing for us, it's really showing off now, and I'm like already starting to get like used to it and locked into it, and I already have like my regiment for the day. So it's not that hard of a transition. I think it's just a fun transition, and the NFL is always a great time to really show, you know, how you are as a professional, especially at a young age.
How different is the technical aspect of that, all of that, how that block is going to set up and how closely you have to follow that track different from what you've done? I mean, you feel like you're taking a jump in terms of precision there?
Yeah, no doubt, especially like how I see different things, and especially like me reading, you know, second and third level, you know, backers and DBs, and just understanding where they're going to be at before, you know, I even get the ball. Like, that's what makes the game just like slow down for me, especially like on that wide zone track, and knowing where, like, you know, where the linebackers are gonna, you know, push over or come underneath or try to pursue over the top. And just me seeing that, it's really like slowing down. And I think that, you know, the gift that God given me, I get to do a lot of different things when it comes to things like that.
Is that vision? Is that just a feeling you get? I mean, in terms of knowing where those guys are going to be and sort of adjusting your track?
Yeah, I mean, I always say it. It's a gift from God, and then you just got to keep working on it. Like, yeah. I'm so like just working on it every single day, you know. But I'm doing so many little things like my footwork before I even, you know, get off my track, and know where my eyes are going to be, knowing how the block's going to set up, you know, with the right guard and the left tackle, or the right or the left guard and
I got
that up, but you
no,
know, but just knowing what they're going to do before it even happens, and trying to set them up to make them look really good, because when you set up their blocks and when you make their job easier, then that's what makes the whole play go. So that's, I mean, it's been fun for me running it out here, and I think we're just going to keep getting better at it every single day.
Vets are used to pads. How the rookies hold up though on day one?
I think the coaches did a really good job of, you know, first day in pads. Kind of like regrouping, a shorter practice, kind of setting our pads and setting the standard on how we practice with full pads.
When Clark says he looks up to you, picks your brain both on the field and off about leadership, about how to handle yourself as a pro, what does it mean to you when the rookies seek your advice?
You know, I think that's what, you know, they brought me here for, is to take that role. You know, I remember being a rookie, being able to float around a little bit in those first couple of weeks, getting your feet settled. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still football, and the biggest part is just how to be a pro, and, you know, making sure you get in that routine, and you know, that's how you have success in this league. I think the best players, they find a routine, they stick to it day in and day out, whether, you know, they're having success or they're not having success. That routine is something that I think you kind of go back on, and that's what you keep focused, and you stay grounded no matter what.
I know this is your first taste with this team, but Frank Darby was saying that the difference between year one and year three with Arthur Smith is just so much confidence, so much belief. I know it's early for you in the system and everything, but you sense it as well, the confidence of not only he, but this franchise?
Yeah, you know, being my first year, you know, the first week I'm kind of like figuring out a little bit. You know, this is a physical team. This is a hard-working team. You know, these days can get long, and, but, you know, as a veteran, you got to be that guy that, you know, speaks to everybody throughout, you know, whether it's day 5 or day 1. I got to be that guy that you know, stays vocal, mentally, physical. You not just for my DB group, for everybody on this 90-man roster.
There's a lot of excitement around this defense right now. Why are you excited to be a part of what's building here?
Anytime I feel like anytime you're part of something, a rebuilding type of culture, you just always want to just do your part. I think that's what everybody's excited about. You got a bunch of guys that's coming from everywhere, whether they're getting traded, whether it's a third year in the program, whether it's the first year. I think everybody kind of sense what we want to be as a defense, and I've been a part of championship defenses, and it's hard work, and it's something that you take pride in and day out. And I say just do your 111, and we'll be just fine.
Jesse, you played for a guy in Lou and Rumo who had a ton of experience at DC. Now you've got a guy who's in the first year. Do you see any difference? What do you think about Ryan based on your previous experience?
Yeah, Ryan is a little bit more upfront focused. Coach Lou was more on the DB side. Okay. He's been 20 plus years with the DB, so I've learned a lot from Coach Lou being under him. So Coach Gray kind of leans a little bit more with the DBs, and then you see Ryan. We're in our defensive meeting rooms, and you hear Ryan next door in the D-line room slamming stuff. And, so it's a little bit of different philosophy for sure. But I think that Coach Ryan, he's seen a lot of ball as well. He's had successful defenses over there in New Orleans, and he's bringing everything that he knows over to us. And I don't think it really matters on what specialty they're in, but I think that he's a great leader. Every day he's the same person. His messages are pretty damn intense. And, it's cool to see.
In terms of the volume, in terms of the intensity, in terms of the words?
Yeah, I would say the words a little bit.
Yeah.
The way he describes some things are a little bit more aggressive than Coach Lou, but I don't like to compare. I just think that they're both great leaders, and someone I'm very excited to work with.
What's one thing?
Coach Gray.
What you say? I'm sorry.
Jerry Gray. He's been around forever.
Yeah. It's somebody that's played the game. Somebody that's been coaching for 20 plus years as well. So being able to ask him questions about certain formations. He's a little bit more detailed than others for sure.
What's one thing Coach has made clear that is just unacceptable? You're gonna hear the wrath of him, whether it's verbally or maybe pounding the desk.
Yeah, I think effort is the biggest thing in being an attack and aggressive type of defense. Everything we do, we preach being aggressive, being in an attack position, no matter whether we're going to meetings, whether it's a lift, whether it's practice, attack every day, and that's something that I think if you turn on the film, you're going to see.
With all the new faces defensively, how do you guys as players go about accountability? If a play breaks down, who's stepping up in those moments to kind of establish that before you guys get in the run of season?
Yeah, I think that the leaders in that room, whether it's up front, whether it's in the back end, people that's been a part of really good defenses, like I said, has to step up. And unfortunately, that this is a NFL. This is the NFL. We're going to play good teams. We're going to get beat at times, but it's just minimizing those and being able to focus on the next play, I think, is the biggest thing. And yeah, like you said, leaders have to step up in those moments because things can't be repeated. Repeated mistakes.
And going off that, part of that of the young guys is being receptive. Do you feel like everyone's kind of being a sponge in that area as well early on in camp?
Yeah, I think that everybody's been able to continue to build relationships. I think as a leader, you figure out some guys take criticism different. Some guys want to be to the side. You want to talk to. So that's just part of learning. I think every day, day in and day out, learning the playbook and learning each other. That's why we're staying in dorms and stuff like that, to get to know each other and kind of break that shell. I think people, once you kind of step in a new room, sometimes you can kind of shy away, but if we're going to be a good defense, we got to communicate well on the field and off the field.
Where is that process at and blending it together to where, the secondaries, you can just look at them and they know what to do? And I know it's a process and getting to that where everybody's on the same page and in unison on the coverage changes and pre-snap, post-snap and all that.
Yeah, that's where I think hours and hours of meetings, that doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's not just a one thing where we both look at each other and we're on the same page. It's got to be a communication thing, and making sure that we see everything in the same lens, at the same speed and everything. So, like I said, that takes time, but we're definitely taking the right steps to it.
I know you're in pads and you're supposed to thud, but when the rookie Bijan comes up the middle and you're there, you're going to teach the rook a lesson?
No, I don't think that. We always talk about protecting the team. If he's in the hole, yeah, unfortunately, me and him got to go head up and, thud up. But no, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all love. We're here to get each other better. And then hopefully when we go out to Miami, we can, do a little bit more talking stuff and, hitting each other a little bit harder.
Appreciate you.
What are some of your early evaluation of Richie Grant?
Yeah, Richie is somebody that is very high energy. I know, watching the film, I've known of Richie Grant, and he made plenty of plays, the last couple of years, and just excited to work with. I remember going into my year 3 or 4, and just to give him my experiences, my knowledge, and we're going to bounce off each other really well.
Was there a welcome to the NFL moment, even though it's pads and it's practice?
David gave me a pretty good bull rush, so I think that was my welcome to the NFL moment. Yeah.
What's your expectation for yourself as we enter this part of the season?
I just get better every day. I feel like being a rookie, that's all you can do. Just get better and be good to your teammates, and that's really my my goal for the season.
You haven't thought down the road to September 10th and where you want to be on the depth chart at that point?
You got to focus on tomorrow. I got to focus on practice tomorrow. We still install some playbook stuff, so I just got get better with the playbook, and whatever happens, September 10th happens. I'm just focusing on now, just getting better every day and being a good teammate to some of the guys.
What's the last week been like for you?
Learning, definitely learning. I feel like getting used to the heat. That was something, my tan, and you can see I got a little more dark, but yeah, yeah.
For the Canadian, obviously, you're still trying to get used to that heat, right?
Yeah,
Getting used to it.
Canada, and then play at Syracuse, which is not very south. So, so it's still getting used to the heat down in the south, yeah.
So when Henny went down the other day, I think Chris Lindstrom came up to you and kind of said something to you. Would you be able to share with us maybe what he kind of said?
I just told me, no pressure and play fast. I think that's something that Coach Ledford and some of the older guys in our room have been preaching ever since we got here, rookies. And that's something I've been trying to, improve on every day and just be better for those guys. And, I'm playing next to Jake Matthews, one of the best tackles in the league, so I'm definitely got to be on point with my stuff. So that's, like I said, I'm just trying to be a good teammate and be there for my team.
What's it been like being around those guys? Like, how much have you learned from them so far?
I've learned a lot, whether it's technique, whether it's how to approach the game, and whether, it's how to communicate, between the plays and, before the whistle, before the set hut. So I'm definitely, getting better.
How would you describe the energy of just today, especially getting back in full pads?
Oh, I thought the energy was great. Obviously we're always trying to improve, and I feel like, we went at it offense, defense, and I thought it was a good practice. I don't want you guys to put me on the spot. I don't know what Coach Smith thinks about practice, but yeah.
And then how tough is it, learning and going up against, Grady and David?
I mean, it's been good. It's been a good learning process. Obviously, those guys, some of the best, and being a rookie and being able to go up against those guys at an early stage of my career, it definitely helps me a lot. And especially in the transition from being a tackle going to guard, it's definitely been good.
You talked about Jake offering insight and knowledge, but it's also beneficial to pick the brains of a guy like Grady, moves he might do to help your side of the ball as well.
No doubt, Grady and David, they've been both helping me off the field. Giving me little tips about whether it's my stance, whether my eyes and stuff that's giving stuff away. So they've definitely been good, helping me with that type of stuff.
I know you already talked about Jake, but what kind of insight does a guy like that bring? Obviously a lot of experience, and he's a veteran, but how beneficial is it for you to learn from Jake?
I feel like just me playing next to him is how to communicate, at a high speed. Sometimes it's a split-second decision, and you have to be on point. When I was with the rookies, it was a little slower tempo, and when you're with the vets, they're faster. They communicate faster. So I feel like just playing that tempo, that's what he's been helping me with.
Inside coach was talking about you guys taking care of each other. Talk about the fact you're out here, first day in pads, you competing hard. But you're looking out for one another.
Yeah, no doubt. It's important to compete hard, but it's also important, to take care of, of each other. Obviously, we're a team, and we're not trying to, kill each other, hurt each other. The point is just us getting better every day.
I don't know if you've been asked this, but Bergeron, any relation to Patrice?
Now, when I first got in the United States, I used to tell people he was my uncle, but I don't think nobody go for it now.
Are you a big hockey guy?
When I was growing up, I was a big Montreal Canadiens fan, but I kind of got out of it as I got into football. Yeah.
Frank Darby is obviously a guy that's been here for a little bit, but he was talking about the culture and how it's different. This is a new culture for you. It's a first look at it, but what is it like? Can you describe it for me?
I feel like, the team, everybody's just so tight. And, you talk about a guy like Frank Darby, he's bringing energy day in and day out. Even on day off, he was out here running laps. So he's definitely a high energy type guy, and I feel like that's something that the older guys are preaching.
Gonna inspire you to run some laps on your day off? Or?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with the recovery. Yeah.
I was talking to Zach Harrison. He was saying that a lot of you guys, the rookies, will just kind of like hang out after practice. Like you're not gonna play video games or do anything. You're just kind of chatting, which struck me as kind of like old school.
Yeah.
Is that something that you have enjoyed?
Right. He's right though. We be in the rookie locker room after practice and just talking about life and football. So we're not the typical rookies hanging out in the dorms till like midnight and stuff playing video games. We just literally sitting there, talk about football, talk about plays. So yeah, and I feel like we got a good rookie class. Aside of football, we built a great bond, and I'm just happy to be with those guys.
What's the most interesting thing you guys have talked about, or maybe the most contentious debate you've had?
The debate. It was probably about me being Canadian. Just having to explain that like we actually have like, not the whole country's ice and snow. Like we actually have forests and cities and stuff. So that was definitely a big debate. Me and Zach was going at it, but yeah, it was good.
Wait, did he actually not believe that Canada has cities?
Yeah, it was. I don't want to put him on the spot, but let's just say we had a good debate. Yeah.
What's the best question you got about being Canadian?
French. Like why I speak French? I think that was the main thing. It was that definitely. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but we got to go way back for that one. But yeah.
I was gonna say, don't you get that question when you go to Saskatchewan too, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're getting a lot of really important reps early. How much do you welcome the challenge of doing that in training camp as a rookie?
I think as a rookie, it's important to be in our mindset. Like whenever your name gets called, you got to go in and just be able to play fast. And I think that's something I've been trying to do and getting better as the day goes by. And like I said, I'm just trying to step in and do my job whenever my name gets called, and give my 100%, give my best effort, and we'll see where that take me.
I know training camp is stacking days and getting better every single day incrementally, but for you, have you set personal goals along the way in training camp?
I haven't, set specific goals. I think my main goal is just to really get better from that transition. I haven't played a lot of guard in my, in my career of football, so just being better at the guard position, that's something that, that's a goal of mine, and just stacking days, like you said, just getting better every day, going up against Grady and David, like we mentioned earlier, it's a good thing for me in my career. So
that you can learn from Lindstrom is arguably the best guard in the league. That has to be pretty helpful.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful. I feel like we got a better O-line, and I'm just, tagging along and trying to learn from those guys.
What's been the biggest transition for you in the switch?
From tackle to guard, I feel like the speed of it, as a tackle, I feel like you got a little bit more time, whether it's in the pass game and the run game, but at guard, when it's pass game, you got to be faster with your hands and with your feet, and that's something that I got to get better at for sure.
What's your early impressions of Bijan and what he can bring to this team?
Well, he's a good player. He's a good teammate. I think that's something like that people don't mention enough. Like he's a great person, and I feel like he's going to be a good player.
I mean, like all those weapons he brings, he's a running back, but he's gotten a chance to at least see a little bit of what he can do all over the field.
I mean, he brings a lot of stuff, and obviously he's been a lot of good things in camp and OTAs, and it's just been, great for me to be able to block for a guy like Bijan and for a good teammate like Bijan. So yeah.
What have you learned so far, if anything, through the first week?
Man, honestly, it's a long list. Like I feel like every day I'm being coached up on something new that I didn't know before. So I mean, I'm just, like I said, just trying to embrace all that and just kind of get better and better.
What was the first day at pads like?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was fun to get it back out there and really just play football. First week, we're on pads, so it's not real football. Then today, put the pads on and get to, be a little more physical and just, like I said, just play football.
Are you guys a little bit more excited about that on that line of scrimmage, that first day of pads?
I mean, we get to really play. We get to really, put hands on people. Get to feel the weight of the blocks and get to really, just like I said, just really play football as opposed to trying to, be cautious and not having pads on and stuff like that.
We talked to Bud Dupree the other day, and he was saying that you brought snacks for like the whole room.
Yeah.
And you've been doing your rookie duties.
Yeah.
What's that been like?
Yeah, y'all caught me on a good day. I don't have 6 helmets I'm carrying into the locker room, but I mean, it's not really that big a deal, because they help me out a ton on the field. Every rep they talking to me about something, pushing me harder. So I mean, the least I can do is get them some snacks and carry their helmets.
What are the best snacks? What are the ones that go off well?
The 2 boxes of chips is already gone. Pringles are gone. I think the sunflower seeds are gone. I don't know if they like the little cashews I bought, so there's definitely big chip guys in the D-line room.
Are we talking like a multi-pack, like
the little variety box, with the Fritos, Cheetos,
Cool Ranch, regular, all the,
Something
you know,
for
yeah,
everyone.
the Lays, yeah.
That's awesome. So obviously you have those duties with them, and you know the rookie making fun, all that kind of stuff. But how much have you actually learned from guys like Bud and these older guys so far?
Yeah, like I said, a lot. Like Bud been helping me out a lot. Lorenzo Carter been helping me a lot. Calais been there as well. Grady and David really been helping me too, as far as like, you know, playing the run and things like that, because they both big dudes, been doing it at a high level. You know, I'm coming in, never played in the NFL before. They're trying to teaching me, you know, tips and tricks to help me, you know, disengage faster, things like that.
Have you had an adjustment with the heat and everything?
Yeah, it's hot.
Being from Ohio?
Yeah, it's hot. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even sit here and lie. It's hot. But like I said, everybody's practicing in it, and it's just part of the grind of camp. So, you know, you got to embrace it and, you know, not let it affect how you play.
I'm curious if there's one thing or anything that has surprised you or taken you like you weren't expecting during training camp so far.
I really didn't have any expectations going in, you know, because that's kind of how, you know, you let things kind of phase you. So I just kind of came in, like I said, every day, just try to work as hard as I can and roll with the punches, and I feel like I've done a pretty decent job of doing that so far.
Obviously, you're bonding with the guys in your position group, but how much have you bonded with like your rookie class and your fellow draft mates and stuff?
No, we close. All the rookies are close. You know, we just come after practice, sit in the locker room, we'll just sit there and talk for like 30, 45 minutes, just sit there talking about practice and just, you know, just goofing off and just hanging out. You know, it's kind of time to, after practice, we can just kind of kick it and just chill. You know, we kind of embrace that and just hang out with each other.
So you guys are chatting. Did you ever play like video games or like?
No, we don't got time to play video games. No, you know, we go back to the dorms afterwards, and we'll just sit on the couch. And like I said, we'll just talk. Nice. Just talk, laugh, joke, you know, go on Instagram, send each other stuff. Like, it's just good, you know, like building a bond between us.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because in the past we hear, you know, oh, we go play video games, this guy's really good, this guy.
Yeah.
You guys just chat. That's kind of cool.
We just chop it up.
That's kind of like old school.
Yeah, yeah.
We can sense the big uglies up front, you know, offensive, defensive lines. But what about the DBs and the wide receivers? With pads on, can you feel the energy intensify?
Yes. I feel like we all excited to go out there to see what people got. Is they gonna come downhill how they was coming downhill without the pads? Is we gonna hit? Is we gonna get the holes open? Because, you know, we big on the run game, and then, you know, we love Bijan back there. So at the receiver room, it's like we more focused on that. Like, let's get these holes open, because Bijan gotta go do what he gotta do, and the way he running, the way he performing. Man, listen, it's gonna get scary. That's how I look at it.
You were just talking about the defensive line a second ago. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you look at those guys?
Monsters. Oh man, monsters. Like, I just be, you know, I try not to speak too much upon it and everything, but just seeing how they just be getting off the ball and like the schemes they got going on and stuff like that, not getting to all that stuff. It's just like, for me, like, I feel like just being around this, like, I understand and I see everything different now. So it's like, I ain't just going and watch film on me. I'm going to watch film on everything just to see what the coaches see and how everything's going to work when we really start putting it all together. So that's what I mean about that with the defensive line.
Obviously, you're always energetic, you're always high-spirited, but you seem to be a little bit more excited. Why?
Cause it's different, you know. It's just different when you've been around. You just seeing like the way like teams been. Like my rookie year, shaky. My second year, you see the games that we were just letting go over, just like little penalties, little here, little that. And I'm just like, this year, it's just like Art just so big on all the little things. Like, he'll write it down and then be coming in the meeting room and just talking about it. And then we going out there, and then he big on improvement. So when we write it down and he speak upon it and we go out there and don't do it again, he like that. Cause it's just like, he looking at the bigger picture. Cause it's like, all right, you was like, he like filling in on my end. Like, oh, Frank, you was on the ball covering up the tight end, and Bijan just ran a big run. That's gonna come back, you know. And I mean, he's like, we don't want that to happen, so you better get it right. And I'm just like, okay, coach. And then that's when he tell us one thing, I'm just go out there and fix it. So it's like, the next time that's me just building my trust with him. Yeah.
What is the pressure on you this year, just in the reality of the NFL and the reality of your job?
On my behalf, I just look like, you know, it was shaky. It was shaky the last 2 years. I just feel like with me and like how the coaches view me, it's all about putting it together now. I got the developmental year. The second year I came in, seen the little errors I was lacking that. Now my third year is just more of like being a better pro. You know, just being a better pro, putting it all together for him, because I feel like on my behalf, there's no more excuses. You know the playbook. We've been running it for 3 years. You can play faster. So now just go out there and show us what you got, you know? And then I love how they just keep, and I love how they bring different guys in I can compete against, because I ain't just competing against them, I'm learning from them too, you know? And because the guys that's here now, they all been in situations on other teams where they was competing to get a job.
Thanks, Ray.
You talk about energy and difference, but what player have you seen make a huge difference just a week into camp so far that's really caught your eye, that you're like, oh, okay, we're ramping it up?
When Kyle came back. I've been with Kyle all season and training and stuff. And I was always wondering, you know, his situation. I was wondering if he was had to wear the brace and stuff. And he was like, man, I'm good, let's go. And then coming out here and we in routes on air and I'm seeing the way he just back to his normal self and catching the ball. I was like, oh, it's gonna get scary. It's gonna get real scary. John knew, Kyle, hold on. Crew back, the line, Chris Pay, Gary Pugh, D-line. It's just so much. It's so much thing going. I'm like, oh, everybody is hungry, you know. And Bijan first round, so it's just like CP still here. So it's just like we got the weapons. We just got to really put it all together and just go out there and do what we do.
Do you sense that same amount of hunger from your quarterback?
Yes. Oh, yes. Dad's doing his thing. And I just like how, you know, with the thing in the room, the competition in the room, you know, and it like, you know, from last year just being on P Squad and going out there with Daz and how he was just operating during P Squad, it's like now he more of a pro. Like Daz becoming like, we got meeting here. He telling how he want this, he telling you like this. I'm like, this is a leader now. This is a leader, and I be looking at him, I see why they trust you now. Like, keep going, Dad, and he going in there, ball is coming out faster, he's sharper, he making the right calls, and I want to say, like, we just got to put it all together and just see what we're going to do this year.
Frank, outside of Drake, this wide receiver room is a bunch of guys who kind of came up the hard way. Do you feel that in the room?
Yes.
How does that manifest itself?
It's different, you know, especially with the wide receiver room. You know, Red was here with me last year. I'm so excited he came back. I'm so excited Red came back. But when Matt came in now, Scotty, it's more love in the room. It ain't all competition. You know, last year I felt like we was all distant from each other because we was trying to find a job. You know, you had like Geronimo and all of them here. That was last year. But this year, we in the room now going over the script together. Mac got our own our group chat. Hey, yo, we going out to eat here. Hey, we doing this, we doing that. So it ain't in this room. It ain't nobody looking down on nobody or saying like, oh, I'm wishing bad upon you. It's more like, let's go. Come on, when you get your rep, you go out there and do your thing. And we just get excited if a ball come our way. We know what it is, we know how the job is, and we know that we got to go out there and make plays when the ball comes up.
Obviously, a lot of you rookies are already showing out. You're turning heads. Zach Harrison, you, Bijan. What is it about this rookie class that's been so explosive so early in camp?
The culture. I think the coaches do a great job of impressing what they want to establish, you know, out of us, and us just falling in line and doing what the team wants and what the team needs, and that's kind of the mindset that we're going into every single day with. It's still early in camp, and we just want to get better as rookies, and so we can make an impact.
What veteran defensive guy have you learned from the most yet?
I think all of the guys. I could point out a couple of guys, but I feel like everyone that I've, you know, kind of been able to watch, like the guys like Grady and Bates and Hawkins and those dudes that are coming to work every single day and working are definitely dudes that you want to watch.
Are you a big film study guy? Is that part of your routine, and how do you think that helps you do what you do?
Daily. No, I think film study is super big for anybody, especially on the defensive side of the ball and playing nickel. If you don't watch film, you're not going to make that many plays, and for me, I just want to know what I'm doing so I can help the defense out.
Playing on the inside, there's a lot of responsibilities, right? Like you could have a two-way go, you got to play the run. There's a lot of kind of complicated things in that spot. Do you like that, and kind of what are the challenges playing inside? Like you said,
you know, it's a lot of responsibility, and I love all of that. I think I give credit to the coaches for putting us in great positions, putting me in great positions, and teaching us the system and giving us, you know, hope for going out there and making plays. Because for me, you know, it's just about learning the system and then going out there and playing fast.
How much do you enjoy the one-on-one reps, especially against Drake?
Man, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A guy like him, he's got a real versatile style of game playing, and every single day I look forward to lining up against him.
What do you think of the rookie class so far? How do you think y'all have held up? It's kind of a different world.
From what I've seen, I think that we're just coming in and trying to learn the system. It's still early in camp, but I'm a guy that's worried about the entire team and also worried about myself, and just worried about learning the playbook, learning, you know, everything that I need to learn so that I can help the team win.
My understanding is that Ryan has a pretty big secondary playbook. I mean, he's gonna ask y'all to know how to do a lot of things. Is that accurate?
Most definitely, but I would say the biggest thing is just going in the film room, understanding your assignment, your job, and then coming to work every day and just trying to get better.
Thanks.
Sometimes the one-on-one battles are a little misleading, right? Because the quarterback doesn't have 15 seconds to throw. How realistic is it? What do you look for when you're breaking down things that perceptually might have gone against you, but in reality you did your job?
Being a DB, one of the biggest things that help guys win and lose reps is technique. And so for me, I focus on my technique. I don't think any of the other stuff matters, just because in the game, they throw it up or whatever happens, whoever comes down with the ball wins that rep. So that's kind of how I look at one-on-ones. And of course, we go back in the film room and we evaluate and we look at that film and see how we can improve and get better from that.
Have you seen some stuff from yourself in the first few days that maybe surprised you in terms of how you've made some plays and where you can?
I would say for me, it was just about learning the system. It's going to always be about that. For me, I just want to get better every single day. Whether I make plays or not, the biggest thing is understanding what I'm doing so I can help out, and be the best player that I can be on the field and help the team win games.
Do you feel like you got under Drake's skin a little bit? I mean, he goes and punts the ball on the hill after he beats you.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even see all of that. At the end of the day, like I said, the dude's a great player, and it's so much fun competing against him. That's something I look forward to every single day. And yeah, we're gonna go back and forth, but that's what teammates do. That's what brothers do, and I look forward to going at him again tomorrow.
How do cornerbacks bring energy during padded sessions? We know what the offensive defensive lines can do, but what can you guys do when the pads are on?
Go out there and do the same thing that the rest of the 11 guys do, is just make tackles, try to hit guys, and play with technique. I think that's what it comes down to.
A lot of people talk about the play out there with Drake. The thing I saw was afterwards, how you guys still kind of adapt each other. Talk about that. It's competition here, but you guys still are rooting and pulling for each other.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Regardless of the competition, regardless of the back and forth. At the end of the day, we're teammates. And that's one of the things that I'm grateful for. Being that I went against a guy in college, that's what makes this rivalry and the battle so special, because we get to do this every single day now. And that's one of the things I'm grateful for. Makes me a ton better, and I hope he can say the same. But we're just going back and forth, and man, I'm super grateful for it, to be honest.
Is there a vet or two you've been leaning on more than others to pick their brains and see what life in the pros is all about?
All of the guys, but Jessie Bates has definitely been a guy. Jalen Hawkins definitely been another guy that I've been talking to, just trying to get little nuggets here and there, little gems to kind of take to my game and apply to my game to help the team win.
Is there something that you see they can't express verbally, but you can only watch when they're on the field, that you kind of pick your brain a little bit?
Yeah, it's the passion that those guys play with. You can definitely tell when a guy's had in-game experience, and when a guy really wants something, he's going to go after, and that's kind of something that I kind of look for and try to apply to my game as well.
Appreciate you, man.
Obviously, I know you've been learning a lot, but what would you say 1 week through NFL training camp you've learned the most about yourself?
Georgia humidity ain't no joke. Something that I'm grateful for. I stayed out here during the break so I could, kind of get acclimated to it. But, you strap those pads on, it's a whole different story. So today was fun. This whole week has been fun. And, man, I plan on completely, working and getting better every single day and just enjoying this whole experience.
Appreciate you, bro.